So once again, it's the DFW area versus the world. Desoto, Duncanville, South Oak Cliff, Aledeo, and Gunner all looking to repeat as state champions this week. We now bring in Tarrance Johnson with the right call on sports. Tarrance, you've seen every one of these teams throughout the year. Let's start with this. Which of the defending champs showed you the most heading into the final week?
Man, that's going to be a pretty hard one because over the last 6 weeks, Andrew, it's been some great football here in the state of Texas. But I will tell you this, Aledeo, that's title town. They have 11 titles going for that 12th in the last 15 years. Coach Robbie Jones, this is his first season. He's 15-0, taking over from the GOAT, Tim Buchanan, who went 24 seasons with championships after championships. They're coming off a 43-7 win over Forney now. Forney was a team that I had on my radar. They lost to Longview, the only loss of the season. They beat a Lancaster team in double overtime. So I was looking for Forney to kind of make some noise because I kind of wrote them off, and then I was like, hey, Forney's doing good. So what I do want to tell the world to remember the name, Dave Von Keys, man, for Aledeo Bearcats. He's originally a linebacker, but the cat plays running back too, and he's been at it. So when they face Smithson Valley this Friday at AT&T, it's going to be a good one.
No Racine Guillory this last week. Haney didn't have his best game, 2 picks, no touchdowns, and yet they still win 43-7. Really seems like they are a complete team. But what makes this team different from the last couple years that they fielded?
I just say the grit, and everybody kind of wants them to lose because they got so many championships. It's always the big fuss about, hey, they're in 5A, move up to 6A and face this team. I really don't think that's a difference, with enrollment. But, they're the title town, so you have to beat them to join them.
Who has the best chance of defending their title this week?
Oh, of course, the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears with Jason Todd. What he has done over there on Marsalis is miraculously, man. He came into the Lovejoy game on a winning streak, I think 16-game winning streak of Lovejoy. They pitched a 42-0 to shutout. And then, Danny Green, running back, runs hard. Khalil Ewell, counterpart, runs hard. They had to face off against a strong Frisco Emerson team with Coach Kimball Miller, who was his second season over there, doing a great job with the program. It was like almost a barn burn in the beginning because Frisco Emerson came out really good. 10-10 at halftime, but me knowing Jason Todd and his staff, Kyle Ward, the death row defense, they came out in the second half and just turned it on, Andrew. You should have been there for that semifinal. South Oak Cliff going to the third state title to face P&G, who's they familiar with. They beat P&G last year in the second state title run, 34-24. So when you ask that question, you got to be the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears because they're doing a lot for DISD.
Speaking of games I wish I was at, I also want to touch on Desoto, who took down South Lake Carroll in a 7-point battle. This is really kind of the first time this Desoto team's been tested, even counting that Duncanville game late in the year. Was this the test that they needed to kind of feel good heading into the state championship?
And I believe so, being that they're possibly going to move down to 5A. Desoto, they're going for a back-to-back championship. They already have 2 in the barn over there in Eagle Nation. Desoto U, as they like to call it. Darius DJ Bailey, I seen him in camps a couple years ago. When I seen that kid young, he had good spin on the ball. He's been leading that team. Tiger Ryden's been riding it, running that ball, well down in the trenches. Deep. The line is deep. The line is big. They have big kids on the line. They have a defense that gets stingy. That guy, I think it's Kalen Abrams, had a key play on Graham Knowles at the goal line. Graham Knowles went airborne, and he missed it probably about an inch of getting in the end zone because, South Lake, if you look at it, this has been a team that if they faced each other 3 out of 5 times, South Lake winning 3 out of those 2, but DeSoto capped it off with that last victory to, cap it off in 6A. So hopefully if they get the state championship, because they will face a Summer Creek team, they'll go down to 5A as champions.
Let's take the DFW glasses off for a second here. If we're just looking at the field objectively, the headliner has to be round 5 between Duncanville and North Shore. It's gotten to be like the Warriors and Cavs from a couple years back. So what has separated these 2 programs from the rest of the pack and the state, and what is it going to take for Duncanville to climb that mountain again this year?
They're like the face of Texas high school football to me. Even though you got your Aledeo with titles, these guys have met 5 times. Duncanville has had great teams, better teams. They always have good teams, but losing by a Hail Mary and then, barely losing by a point, and then they actually got what Reginald Samples needed last season, running with Caden Durham, who had 5 touchdowns over a North Crowley team that was really potent. I didn't look for it to be like that, with a big blowout, putting up 50 points, and then you have Keelan Russell throwing to DK Moore. He's a freak, man. He do it all. He punt, he block, he can play DB. Reginald Samples, he's the godfather. It's the reason he's the godfather. It's the reason that he has a stadium named after him in the city of champions of Duncanville. So North Shore, there's a lot of noise talking with that. So, North Shore's quarterback is back. He didn't play last season. They won't let that be the reason. But, hey, them Panthers are coming, so you better lock the gates.
It should be a lot of fun. Tarrance, thanks so much for your time this weekend. Really appreciate it. Have fun in Arlington watching all these great matchups.
Glad to come on with you, Andrew.